So the film From Depression with Love was something that I started 6 years ago, and I went to Ethiopia and I was filming a feature film at that time, and I saw a whole different contrast of the world. And I came back to my life and I just moved back with my parents. Things weren't going very well. I was kind of struggling financially. I was meeting with all the challenges of life. I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't have a lot of good friends at the time. I felt disconnected from most of my friends and my family. And knowing that I was in a beautiful country, in a beautiful world, and that on the other side of the world, people were suffering and literally had no money. And I saw children with dirt on their faces begging for water. There was something about that just sparked this, there is something wrong with the world, and there's something wrong with me, and there's something wrong with life, which then caused me to go in a severe state of depression. Now, I already had depression undiagnosed for a long period of time, bipolar, sometimes I'd be okay, but there was this deep kind of sadness within me. But this just kind of got really heavy to the point where I wanted others around me to feel that heaviness, and I was making life miserable for people around me by being so miserable myself. And nothing they tried to do to make me happy I wouldn't allow them to even make me happy. It just made me worse. And to the point where I was laying down in my bed one day, and I actually remember, I do believe in God, and I remember praying to God to take my life, because I didn't have the courage to end my life, nor would I want to do that to my family and friends. But there was no way I was going to literally do it. But I had thoughts of doing it, and I just kind of wished it would just happen. And I was praying that for God to take my life. And I remember holding my breath, hoping that I would just die, and my eyes would close and I wouldn't wake up. And then as I was doing that, all of a sudden, something happened and my heart got a big jolt, kind of like an electricity jolt from the sky. And it happened, and my whole body just went into a spasm for about 2 seconds, just like, poof. And then it happened again. And then all of a sudden I floated above my body with my eyes closed. So I wasn't literally seeing with my eyes, but I floated above my body, and all of a sudden I could see all the thoughts in my head that I had about life and that I had about myself. And I could see this ocean of ideas and thoughts and beliefs that I was swimming in, of negativity. And in that moment, as my heart was being almost revived by something outside of me, I got a glimpse to realize that all those thoughts, all those worries, all that pain, all that suffering, that I had created this hell, that I was literally the creator of it. And I realized that that's how powerful I am, that I can create such a miserable life, such a miserable world, and have that impact others. And when I got that I was the creator of that, I had this flash in my mind that said, if you can make yourself so miserable, so depressed, so sad, so much hell, can you go the other way? Could you become the happiest person alive? And I remember getting up after those jolts and going and looking in the mirror, and I was breathing heavily from those jolts because they were physical. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I just had the thought, I'm grateful to be alive. And then I had another thought saying, I love you. And then another thought saying, I am love. And just one thought after the other, I started allowing these new ideas and these new thoughts to come into my mind. And I had to start playing them over and over again, and repeating them and saying them like mantras, and start to fuel them with my own belief and my own desire, energy. And all of a sudden, within a few days, I started to feel good. In fact, in that moment, I already felt like I was, like the direction had changed. Like, surely I wasn't super happy in that moment, but the flow of energy had changed from going in this direction to this direction, and that relief felt good. So you can literally have a change like that, where you just go from that direction of going downwards to that direction to the light. And in that moment, life begins to get better. And as long as you keep following that light, that inner still voice, to joy, to bliss, to happiness, the truth of who you are, that's your star guide, guiding you to the life that you came here to live. And it's your choice whether you follow that. And choice by choice, your life will get better as long as you listen to that inner still voice of your higher self.